Just why Peter Mann invited me to the Grand Hotel in Hastings, I'll never really know. His dilapidated hotel definitely needed my help, but he believed that it didn't. Whatever his reasons, from the outset it was a game to Peter and he had me in his sights.
Right, I'm going to reload this Amazon blowgun because Ruth Watson's coming here today as the hotel inspector. And I'm just having this as backup in case I have problems with her. If I do, this is a very silent, deadly way to remove unwelcome guests in the hotel. Obviously, before you do that, you tip the arrow, the dart, with some deadly poison.
I arrived at the Grand Hotel, a scruffy building in a really rather wonderful location, right on the seafront. Before I'd even met Peter, he thought he had the measure of me.
She gives the impression of being in your face or abrasive. I've been used to handling difficult guests, and I hope to be able to charm her. Oh, gosh. Looking forward to meeting her. Excuse me.
Within minutes of meeting me, Peter announced that he was going to test me. Actually, he was quite determined to catch me out.
So I'm happy with that, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to spot scores of things here that we should improve. And that brings me to what I want to give you. I've got a little envelope here marked thick.
Without the K?
I can't spell for toffee. This means the hotel inspector's consultation. In here, I've written a list of things that I feel should be done to improve the hotel.
Right.
Because it's always occurred to me that you're the hotel inspector, but there's no inspector of the hotel inspector. So
Yeah.
I'm going to keep an eye on you, if you like, as a hotel inspector.
Okay.
So I give this to you as a challenge.
OK, I'll be very interested to see what's inside.
I trust you not to open it.
I won't open it.
Until you've
have
looked through.
integrity,
And then we'll
and
have an interesting discussion about
I
it.
accept the challenge.
Good.
All I would say was that if you know that all these things are wrong, why the heck aren't you doing something about it without me being here?
Because firstly, I haven't got enough time to do them. Secondly, as
How am I going to give you more time to do them?
Secondly, as
How am I going to give you more time to do them? I can't give you time. I am not God. While attempting to get the better of me, Peter had scored a bit of an own goal. By presenting me with this list, he was admitting that there were some serious problems with his hotel. Yet he'd done nothing to rectify them over the last 20 years. Still, I was confident that I'd find things that weren't even on Peter's list.
I think she was a little taken aback, but I think she handled it very gracefully, very charmingly. I really thought that with her strong personality, she might well throw it back in my face, but she accepted the challenge. I think because it's something that she feels she can handle. I don't think she can. I think she's going to fail.
Peter, barely concealing his cynicism, went for a walk, leaving me to explore the hotel. Very interesting arrangement. This door serves 3 rooms. You wouldn't want to all be coming out at once. Well, this is one of Peter's good rooms, but we have the usual mismatch of bedding, nasty pillows, bed base with no valance on it, and over here, one single bedside light with the most indescribably awful shade on it. I mean, this has gone past jumble cell level to dump level.
This is so nice to get out of the hotel and give me a break from Ruth. I imagine Ruth is snooping around the hotel. Meanwhile, I'm out here in the fresh air, clearing my head of all that clutter.
Here we have the usual kettle syndrome, dirty lid, coupled with some nice black hairs from somebody else's head. And this chair is encrusted with, I'm not quite sure what, but I don't think I want to know.
I need oysters to give me strength so that round 2 with Ruth goes well. It's not an aphrodisiac. God, heaven forbid, don't think that. No, nothing like that. It's just to give me strength. Right.
A bathroom mat that looks as if it was once white. Could have been bought pale grey, but I suspect not. And as I throw the mat down, a little flurry of hair and dirt comes up from the floor. It's all about attention to detail. I think Peter needs to acquire some.
I think if Ruth was a shellfish, she would be a spiny lobster or a spiny grouper, or even worse, a spiny sea urchin. Very prickly.
As I settled down for the night in room 6, Peter recorded his thoughts on the day's events.
Well, this is Peter Mann, Grand Hotel Hastings. It's about 10:30 at the end of our first meeting with Ruth.
Cheap paper napkins. Mismatching glasses.
I think she's immovable. And also she has this arrogance about her that irritated me today.
Quality.
I'm sure maybe tomorrow or the day after we will reach an understanding about each other and measure each other's parameters. But at the moment I have very unfavourable vibration, very unfavourable impression about Ruth. Anyway, it's late, I'm tired, and we'll talk more tomorrow. Good night.
The following morning, after a pretty terrible night's sleep, I sat down to breakfast. Breakfast wasn't much better than the bedroom. It was so badly cooked, I couldn't bring myself to eat it.
I could kill the woman. She's so rude.
After breakfast, it was time to sit down with Peter to discuss my findings. The atmosphere was still strained, but I pressed on regardless. My plan for the Grand meant bringing the bedrooms up to scratch and ensuring that Peter had the basics right. With their mismatching furniture and dangerous fittings, they fell well below the standard required. Downstairs, I wanted to strip out the untidy and depressing dining room and give it a clean, modern look. We'd also declutter the lounge, making the most of the wonderful view, instead of hiding it away behind the straggly plants. After I'd delivered my verdict, it was time to open Peter's envelope and see how I'd fared.
See whether you come up to scratch as a hotel inspector.
Okay, and you'll see I have not
See whether you've
opened
done your
it
job
prior.
properly or not.
Oh, I'm glad it's not 5 pages anyway. Ruth's hit list. Removing the clutter in the dining room and elsewhere.
Wonderful. Full marks.
Curtains, duvets, pillows, I've brought that all up and there.
Yes?
Discussed it.
Before you even go any further, even before you go halfway down the list, you're obviously passing the test I've set you here.
The one thing, no, staff uniforms I didn't think about. I may not have covered everything on his list, but I think I'd rather confounded Peter. He finally seemed to be listening to what I was saying and was almost taking it seriously. But it wasn't going to be easy to change him.
Ruth has left, and what I'm going to do is check on her room as my job as hotel inspector of the hotel inspector. Now to do that, I need to put on my uniform here. And then I'm going to have a look. Right. We're going to Ruth's room. Well, my first impressions are quite favourable. Some guests leave their rooms in an absolutely dreadful mess. She's pretty good. I see one broken coat hanger in the bin. And it may be that we need to upgrade the coat hangers. Now, there's one last thing. Just as a joke, yesterday, I put a toy mouse in the bed. She's left it here.
Peter Mann, a self-declared procrastinator, has owned the Grand Hotel in Hastings for 20 years. During that time, he's allowed it to gradually decay. Peter called me in to help get the hotel back on track. After a somewhat rocky start, he has at last started work on modernising the Grand.
Well, within a few days of Ruth Watson, the hotel inspector, telling us to improve the exterior of the hotel, we have a professional team of scaffolders with wonderful haircuts, beautiful hairstyles. Here, putting the scaffolding up, ready for a team of 5 decorators to come in.
Peter appeared to be coming round to my way of thinking about the hotel's exterior. It seemed like a good time to tackle him on another thorny subject, his breakfasts. Peter was using some good local ingredients, but he clearly didn't know how to cook them. And the sausage's got these kind of wounds in it. I don't know, looks like he's cut it or something. It looks a bit raw in the middle. As a cook, food writer and restaurateur, I felt it was time to give Peter a few pointers in the kitchen. First of all, start with a cold pan and you're going to colour them.
And you don't put any oil in the pan?
None, because the sausages have got plenty of fat themselves.
I've always tended to put oil in.
Or don't. Never prick a sausage, that just ruins it, OK? Right. And with the bacon here, I've cut the fat, so because it always buckles up, it means that you've got a greater, flatter surface area for when you turn it round, you haven't got that humped shape. So I'm just going to leave that to one side for the moment because we've got our mushrooms to deal with. And with the mushrooms this size, I would suggest doing them in halves would be fine. You could do them in quarters. In fact, we'll do a selection so that you can see what looks better on the plate.
You don't slice them then?
No, and some salt for me, please, because I like salt.
Well, I don't usually put salt in.
Right. Well, you should.
Ruth.
Yes.
I don't put salt in food. I let guests put salt in.
That's fine.
No, I feel strongly about that. I mean, not just because it's in the news.
You can feel.
You don't put salt in food. Let guests choose them.
No, you're completely wrong. There are some dishes where you actually need to have it absorbed in the cooking process. Nobody notices, like they don't notice. Yet again, rather than listening to me, Peter wanted to challenge me on a subject he knew little about. Let's hope some of my advice sank in for the sake of his future guests. Despite our problems in the kitchen, Peter did seem happy to take my advice about the lounge. He began the process of removing the old furniture and a jungle of plants that had seen better days. Downstairs, I'd sent in a team to begin renovating the dining room. I wanted to make the decor clean and uncluttered. Peter seemed to take a bit of a shine to Mona, one of our decorators.
I knew you'd turn and smile sweetly at the camera if I didn't answer you. I have to tell you, I've seen many decorators and interior designers and painters, but they're not usually quite so glamorous as you. No question of that.
Thank you!
I love your stroke work.
I was even less impressed with Peter's use of language than with his hotel-keeping skills. I felt rather more comfortable with the way he talked to his Persian cat, Sasha.
Sasha, good morning, my lovely. It's time for your morning brush, huh? I want you to taste it. From a practical point of view, I would suggest that nobody has a Persian cat because you have hair absolutely everywhere. This hair I'm removing from her coat is actually sent to Novosibirsk, to some friends we have in Siberia, and they take it and spin it, and they make gloves from it, and they also make socks from it. It's supposed to be nice and warm. So that's what happens to the fur. I have some here actually, I can show you, which I've been collecting. I'll just take some of it out. There's quite a lot of it, you see. This is about 3 months of brushing.
Could it be Peter prefers felines to females? Next, it was time to transform the dining room into a small-scale museum. But first, we needed pictures of both the Grand and Hastings through the ages. I asked Alison Hawkins from the Hastings Museum to have a look for some suitable pictures. Her dogged research paid off, and finally she was able to send Peter her findings.
Got to open this, see what we've got. Oh, look at this. This is fabulous. The archway and Grand Hotel. This is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. This is like 1820s, looking at the cars. There's the hotel again. Gosh, this is wonderful. The dining room's being turned into a mini museum, and these will really fit in there beautifully. Make guests aware of not only the history of the building that they're staying in, but also the history of Hastings as well. This is great. There's the hotel again. This is absolutely wonderful. Here's some beautiful girls on a float. Women's League of Health and Beauty. Gosh, and Hastings Pier in the background. Absolutely wonderful.
After a lot of hard work, the Grand was finally starting to live up to its name. The dining room was now modern and stylish. The pictures of Hastings looked wonderful. The lounge was clutter-free, if a little stark. And the formerly shabby exterior was looking clean and fresh.
We've got a nice new front and side elevation to the hotel. We've painted it mimosa because that's the colour that you get just after the sunrise and just before it all goes white. It's really to reflect that. And obviously the white of the surf. I think the hotel needed a facelift. It was well overdue. I mean, I hadn't painted the outside of the hotel for 6-7 years, which on the seafront here and the critical elements of the weather, particularly in winter, is far too long. And we've also been working quite vigorously on the internal appearances of the hotel as well. All part and parcel of Grand Hotel's image, inside and out. Ruth has said, get on with it. Don't take 20 years doing it. Get on with it and improve it. And she's pushed me into doing it. I'm very pleased. Very painful process at times, being pushed around by a woman. But I took heed of her advice and have done it. Yeah, I feel much more confident myself than when I did a few months ago before she arrived.
The Grand's new look seemed a good way for Peter to get publicity for the hotel, so we decided to hold a party. Peter invited a bevy of local bigwigs and other people who could help promote the hotel. Even the Mayor of Hastings had turned out to cut the ribbon.
Right, wonderful. Now we can go down and eat and drink.
With Peter taking care of the Mayor, I decided to show people round the hotel. After all, this party was all about promoting the Grand.
It's a nice room though, isn't it?
Lovely view, isn't it?
Yes.
For me, you come into the room and it's very nice.
I'm delighted, to be quite honest with you. I can remember what it was like. I really am quite delighted to see that. So yes, I think it will do very well.
It's a fantastic room. I definitely encourage guests to try this hotel, yes.
Lovely to see so many people from other hotels, from the Hotels Association, from the Information Bureau, from the Marketing Department, and the Ward Councillor. It's wonderful to see. Project like this deserves all the support they can get, and I wish them all the very, very best.
Thank you, madam. That's very kind of you. But there's one lady here who's very intelligent, very smart, very creative, and has been an inspiration behind this whole makeover, and that is Ruth Watson, the hotel inspector. Thank you, Ruth, so much.
Peter. We haven't got there yet, but I think if you take this room as a template of what the whole hotel could be like, then, you know, the world is your oyster.
Please enjoy yourself. Thank you.
My biggest challenge at the Grand was not the desperate state of the hotel, but the owner. Changing Peter was a slow and at times arduous chore, but he did make progress. Let's hope the lessons he's learnt have stuck. It would be a shame if Peter slipped back into his old ways, and once again the Grand fell from grace.
Although Ruth and I have had a few squabbles during her visit here, I now, on reflection, realise that she was quite truthful. And I wish any other hoteliers who need her expert advice to act boldly and call her in.